Pets are something a lot of people either adore having, or if they're younger, just can't wait to call one their own. There's something truly unique about pets. They bring joy, offer affection, and often feel more dependable than most humans, let's be honest. But as life constantly reminds us, not every pet is born the usual way. Genetic twists, environmental factors, and pure chance can result in animals that make you pause and ask, how is that even possible? It's rare, sure, but not as rare as you'd think. So here are 15 pets born once in 1,000 years. Number 15. Frank and Louie. If I told you this was a story about two cats named Frank and Louie, you'd probably assume they were a bonded pair. But no, Frank and Louie were actually one cat, a Janus cat to be specific. That means a cat born with two faces, two functioning eyes, two mouths, but one head and one brain. These kinds of animals don't usually survive long. In fact, most of them pass away within days due to complications. But somehow Frank and Louie lived for a full 15 years. The exact reason Janus animals exist is still being studied, but scientists believe it's a rare result of abnormal cell division during early fetal development. Most don't live long due to feeding issues or breathing problems. But Frank and Louie defied all those expectations. He lived like a regular cat, played, ate, purred, everything. His existence was rare, but his life was oddly ordinary, which makes his story even more unbelievable in the best possible way. Number Cursa, Florida Doss-head python. Let's talk about the strangest pets to ever hatch, straight out of Florida, naturally. A man there owned a boa constrictor that had previously laid several eggs and hatched healthy offspring without any problems. But one day, after laying another egg, something unexpected emerged. A snake with two fully formed heads. Now, if you've browsed enough bizarre stories online, you'll know that this type of mutation can randomly happen under certain biological conditions. Naturally, the owner was stunned. A veterinarian who regularly treats unusual animals decided to examine it and took an X-ray. What she found was even more shocking. The snake didn't just have two heads, it had two hearts as well. That's practically unheard of. Most animals with two heads share a single organ system, which often leads to early death. But this snake has two functioning hearts, means two heads were being supported equally. Even more bizarre, the two heads weren't competing for food, just calmly coexisting like some reptilian glitch in nature. Number 13. Oklahoma puppy with 6 legs. Every dog owner thinks their pup is one of a kind, but a newborn named Skipper genuinely is. She was born with 6 legs and 2 tails, according to reports. Vets believe Skipper may be the first dog ever born alive with this rare combination of congenital abnormalities, conditions present at birth. This is a miracle named Skipper, wrote the staff at Neal Veterinary Hospital in Oklahoma, where she was treated, in a Facebook post. She has survived longer than we believe any other canine has with her specific set of conditions, the post added, noting that published research hasn't documented a dog with this anomaly born alive. Skipper is a mix of Border Collie and Australian Shepherd, one of 9 puppies born on February 16th, according to CNN. She was diagnosed with monocephalus dipagus and monocephalus rechipagus dibrachius tetrapus, meaning 1 head and chest cavity, but 2 pelvises, urinary tracts, reproductive organs, tails, and 6 legs. She also shows signs of spina bifida but remains active and healthy. Number 12. Azawak dog. After covering a rare cat, it's only right that we talk about a rare dog, but not one born deformed or mutated, just one that's incredibly uncommon. The Azawak is an ancient breed that originates from the Sahel region in Africa and was highly valued by nomadic tribes. This breed isn't something you'll find in your average pet shelter. These dogs were specifically bred for hunting fast prey like gazelles and hares, and they were also used as loyal guard dogs for caravans and settlements. The Azawak is known for its long legs, lean frame, and exceptional speed. They're elegant, watchful, and extremely loyal. They work well in packs, communicate efficiently, and respond quickly to perceived threats. Today, they're still considered rare and are mainly found in African regions or owned by dedicated breeders. Owning an Azawak isn't just about having a pet, it's about preserving a living piece of ancient history, one that was shaped by survival, loyalty, and the unforgiving desert landscape. So will you make this boy your pet? Number 11. Narnia. The unique two-faced cat. No, this isn't another Janus cat. Narnia is different. He has just one face, but two distinct colors split perfectly down the middle of his head. One side is deep black, the other a soft gray. His fur is divided with such precision, it looks hand-painted. Add to that a pair of electric blue eyes, and you've got a cat that doesn't even look real. Born in France, Narnia's dramatic look is the result of a rare genetic condition called chimerism, where two embryos merge during development into one animal. Unlike Janus cats, Narnia doesn't suffer from any internal complications. He's totally healthy. His striking features made him go viral, and he quickly became an internet star. But this wasn't just about aesthetics. The science behind his split coloring fascinated geneticists and breeders alike. Narnia lives a perfectly normal life, but his fur pattern tells the story of two cats becoming one. It's rare, bizarre, and absolutely beautiful in the most unexpected way. Number 10. Blondie the featherless parrot. Let's talk about a parrot from Venezuela that looks like something out of a glitchy video game. His name? Blondie. Why? Because before he lost his feathers, his plumage was mostly bright yellow. But now, he's almost entirely bald. Unlike the hairless goat before him, Blondie's case isn't a mystery. He suffers from a rare autoimmune condition that essentially caused him to lose almost all of his feathers. A tragic result considering that feathers aren't just cosmetic, they're vital for flying, insulation, and protection. Without them, Blondie can't fly at all. He's been grounded permanently. But here's the twist. Blondie's not sulking about it. Despite looking like a miniature velociraptor, he's known for being playful, active, and even funny. He doesn't let his condition affect his attitude in the slightest. His owners took care of him, embraced his weird look, and gave him a space where he could still live his life. In short, he was a good guy. While Blondie had no feathers, without a doubt this unique-looking parrot has plenty of personality. Number 9. Two-headed pig of China. Well, it clearly looks like a fake pig. But trust me, it's no illusion. This is an actual pig born with two heads and only 3 eyes between them. The piglet was born in China as part of a 13-pig litter, and it was the only one with any abnormalities. The rest? Totally normal. That alone was baffling. Statistically, deformities like this do happen, but having 2 craniums fused into one body while only developing 3 eyes, that's beyond rare. Much like the two-headed snake or the Janus cat, this pig carried a mutation that biology doesn't really plan for. The question that lingers is what causes this: genetics, environmental conditions, pure random chance. Whatever it was, this pig became the outlier of the entire birth. And even though it didn't live a long life, its condition was documented and studied. It served as a strange reminder that sometimes nature doesn't follow the rule book, and definitely not when it comes to pigs. Number 8. Ugly duckling seal. Let's switch from land to sea and talk about a seal found off the Russian coast that immediately stood out from the rest of its colony. Nicknamed the ugly duckling, this particular pup didn't look anything like its peers. Its fur was pale yellow instead of charcoal gray, and its eyes were unusually pink. The reason behind it is albinism. This seal was born without the normal melanin pigmentation that gives seals their color, and in the wild, that's not just cosmetic. Without camouflage, albino animals struggle to hide from predators or even blend in with their group. Albino seals are rare and often rejected by their communities. The biggest concern, though, is survival. Albinism in seals can also cause vision problems and extreme sensitivity to sunlight. Marine biologists were uncertain if this one would make it. But even if its odds were low, the seal's image traveled the world, turning it into a symbol of survival in a world that wasn't built to spare it. Number 7. Stumpy the duck. Stumpy was hatched in 2007 on a farm in the UK and looked, at first, like a regular duckling until someone noticed something off. He had 4 legs, 2 regular ones in front and 2 extras tucked behind. Instead of letting it slow him down, Stumpy waddled around like nothing was unusual. The extra limbs didn't seem to bother him, and he even developed a unique gait to compensate. You'd think that kind of deformity would prevent him from living a normal life, but for a while, Stumpy did just fine. Sadly, things didn't stay that way forever. One of the legs got caught in a fence and had to be removed, while the other extra leg eventually fell off naturally. Still, the fact that Stumpy managed to adapt and live as long as he did was impressive. It wasn't about what he lacked or had too much of, it was about how he carried himself through it, and that made Stumpy unforgettable. Alright guys, now let's head over to number 6, Lamb with 5 legs. That title says it all, right? During a routine breeding season on a farm in Northumberland, a farmer noticed something off about a newborn lamb. It had 5 legs. Not 4, 5. The farmer wasn't even shocked. His daughter ran up and said, "Dad, does that lamb have 5 legs?" And he casually confirmed it, like it was just another Tuesday. Turns out, they'd seen this happen before. Other lambs with extra limbs had been born on the same property. In the past, they'd made the decision to put those lambs down, thinking it would prevent long-term suffering. But this time was different. This lamb was alert, walking on its own, and didn't seem to be struggling. So they gave it a chance. No surgery, no immediate plan, just observation. And for now, it's doing just fine. Sometimes, what seems like a disadvantage turns out to be manageable. Nature doesn't always follow logic, and on this farm, 5-legged lambs aren't just stories, they're memories. Number 5. Simba the goat. Most of the animals I've mentioned so far have been born with unfortunate mutations, but Simba the goat? He's weird in a more amusing, even slightly endearing way. His oddity? His ears. Born in Pakistan, Simba's ears are massive, absurdly so. At birth, they were already far beyond normal length, and by the time he matured, they measured around 54 centimeters. That's not a small detail, it's Guinness World Record territory. And in fact, Simba's owner did just that, reached out to the Guinness organization, hoping to lock in the goat's place in the record books. Because the ears are so long, the owner often has to roll them up and tie them behind Simba's head to stop him from tripping on them. Imagine that, a goat needing help not to fall over its own ears. The villagers treated Simba like a local star. It might not be a life-changing mutation, but it's one that earned this goat global attention and a few fashion adjustments. Number 4. Half fish, half bird in China. At first glance, this thing looks like it swam out of someone's nightmare. A fish caught in China made headlines because its face strongly resembled a pigeon's round, with a beak-like mouth and forward-facing eyes. People immediately started calling it a half fish, half bird, fueling theories of lab experiments or unholy hybrids. But scientists were quick to clear things up. It wasn't a bird-fish fusion, it was just a fish, a perfectly normal species, born with severe facial deformities. Genetic mutations, either caused by pollution or natural chance, led to its oddly shaped head. And while the features looked uncanny, everything else about the fish was biologically consistent. This wasn't a hybrid, it was just one of those bizarre anomalies that gets blown up online because it looks too strange to be real. And in a world where viral photos can twist perception, sometimes the weirdest part is realizing that the truth is simpler than the story people build around it. Number 3. The wholphin. Sometimes nature throws two very different animals together and dares them to make something work. That's what happened with the wholphin. It's a real creature, a hybrid between a bottlenose dolphin and a false killer whale. And while they both belong to the cetacean family, the size difference alone makes this pairing baffling. You'd think such a fusion couldn't happen, yet it's occurred more than once, both in captivity and the wild. The most famous wholphin was born at Sea Life Park in Hawaii. Visually, it looks like a dolphin, but bulkier, darker, and noticeably different from either parent. Scientists originally thought the pairing would be a one-off fluke, but the wholphin matured, reproduced, and proved it wasn't just a biological accident. This creature challenged what biologists thought was genetically possible. It became living proof that hybrids can thrive, not just exist. And while rare, wholphin remains one of the strangest reminders that evolution sometimes takes a strange detour and occasionally gets away with it. Number 2. Pink grasshopper. I haven't shown you any insects in this list yet, so let's change that with something completely unexpected. A bright pink grasshopper. Yes, that's real, not a digital render. A 9-year-old photographer spotted the odd-colored bug and was so shocked that he had to double-check it wasn't some rare toy. But nope, it was hopping around just fine. The condition is known as erythrism, which causes an unusual concentration of red pigmentation, much like albinism, but reversed. Instead of lacking pigment, the grasshopper ends up with too much of a reddish-pink tone. Most grasshoppers blend in with greens and browns to survive, but pink, that sticks out like a sore thumb. Naturally, being so visible makes them prime targets for predators, which explains why these pink grasshoppers are rarely seen. They just don't last long in the wild. But in rare moments like this, when one's spotted and photographed, it becomes a true 1-in-1,000 anomaly, Mother Nature showing off in a color it usually keeps hidden. Number 1. The Zolo. Now here's a breed most people have never even heard of, the Xoloitzcuintli, or Zolo for short. This ancient dog breed from Mexico has two distinct appearances depending on how it's bred, one with a full coat of fur and the other completely hairless. The hairless version is often referred to as the Mexican hairless dog and carries a unique historical legacy. Statues of Zolos have been uncovered in ancient Aztec ruins, and it's believed they were once considered sacred. In some cases, these dogs were even buried alongside their owners, believed to guide their souls into the afterlife. Their wrinkled skin and intense expressions give them a striking look, but they're more than just appearances. Zolos are loyal, calm, and incredibly intelligent. Their lack of fur might seem strange at first glance, but their cultural importance and gentle demeanor have earned them a respected place in homes and history. They're not just pets, they're living cultural relics with centuries of symbolism behind them. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you very soon.